Yo, it's the In Between the Lines podcast. I'm Shamar. That's Jay. Welcome back to another episode. We appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe. Jay, what's going on?
My brother. What's happening?
I can't complain, man. What's going on with you?
You know that ain't true.
Yeah.
You can complain.
I can't complain. But what's it going to do?
But no, tell the people what's going on with you.
My back is killing me, man.
Woo! I know all
My
about
back
it.
is killing me.
Yeah.
So,
Toughen it
moving
out,
slow.
Man. Toughen it out.
Toughen it out for the people. I'm here for the people. I'm here for the culture.
That's what I wanted to hear, baby. Since you here for the culture, let's get to it.
I'm here for the culture. Go ahead.
Man, let's get to it, man. Monumental, historical moment. Kendrick Lamar, his pop-out concert in Inglewood. Brought quite a few people out, from Dr. Dre to NBA players, current, retired. It was on Juneteenth. I just thought it was a moment where not only are we celebrating from a culture standpoint Juneteenth, but also Kendrick's victory as being the best rapper in the fucking game.
Nah.
Yeah, he is.
He's not the best rapper in the game.
Yeah, he is. That's facts. Come on, let's just knock it off. So moving right along. What I liked about it, though, seriously, how the building looked so electric, that was dope as shit. I mean, he did the Not Like Us 5 times.
Ridiculous.
It was dope, but they wanted it. The people wanted it because the energy that it created in the building. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching shit on TV, and punch it up, people on YouTube. Check out Kendrick's pop-out concert, man, from the other night, man. I think
the energy died down by the third time. Now let's be realistic.
The players and the fans ain't get on the stage till the 4th and 5th time.
I know that's what brought the energy down. But if you look at the actual crowd on the third time, they was like, "All right, what's going on?"
Oh no, the crowd wanted them to run it back.
Did.
Yeah, they did.
No, they
See, that's why I get disappointed.
No, because if you can look at it and see, it wasn't until the people came back on that the Kyle guy reinvented it. Like I'm just keeping it a buck. If you look at it, by the third time, the phones are down, the vibe of the audience is going down, and they're like, "All right, how many times you gonna play it?"
Well, it's good to know that you watched it, because I didn't know that till you said that.
Man, I seen it.
Was you?
I'm
watching?
a fan of hip hop.
Oh, you watched it for hip hop reasons, not because the beef and your guy losing the beef.
I don't get the question.
I mean, you was watching it as like some spiteful shit because you a Drake fan, or you was watching it as a hip hop.
I'm a Drake and a Kendrick fan. I just know how to keep it real.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's what I've been doing.
You know
Public seems to agree, but anyway.
No, they don't seem to agree. How do they seem to agree? He was back to the #1 streaming artist. That means people are back to listening to him, and
we ain't worrying about them numbers. But no, let's get back to the culture aspect and why it was a big deal, seriously, especially for that West Coast. And you see, even the way he dressed, it was a tribute to Pop. You can see, like, the whole night was like strictly about West Coast unity. He was able to get all 3 of the major gangs on stage at one time, and they talked unity on that particular night, you know. And again, that for the culture, that's a huge, bro. And for that whole coast, that's huge. And I think musically, again, like, for him to be able to do that shit, because what I liked about Kendrick, and I only seen 2 people do this, and Drake don't do this, and this ain't no shot, it's just a fact. When Kendrick performing live, he don't have the background record on. He's going bar for bar, word for word, memory, like, and only Hov do that shit. They don't use the background music, like the record playing while they rapping. Drake does that. So for Kendrick to be able to pull this off, line for line, word for word, in sync, in the pocket of the record, clearly he had to rehearse for this.
That's nothing special.
Hey, listen, a lot of artists can't do that. They can't even remember their line. That's a fact. Lil Wayne will tell you that. He said,
yep. And if you talk about remembering lines, you know, Kendrick messed up a few lines of his own.
Yes, which he did it twice, and I peeped that.
Okay,
but in saying
what you saying?
What I'm saying that is, not only is that a difficult thing, Drake, who is one of the most popular artists, he has the record playing when he perform live.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I gotta.
That's
look
hard
at that.
though. I ain't gonna lie, that's hard. No, I mean it's not a big deal. But when it comes to your craft, I think, and the work that you put into writing, I think that is a big deal when you're able to go up there and spit that shit with just the instrumental playing because you know where you're supposed to be in each pocket and you know how your voice supposed to translate through every sequence. That's really a hard thing. And the only way to actually pull it off, it has to be repetition. You have to rehearse that. So to see Kendrick rehearse for this moment and pull it off like he did, man, it shows his talent, bro.
That is nothing special,
man. When you go to a concert, I want you to pay attention whether that record playing or that artist is actually singing or rapping. Because a lot of people do that. I'm telling you, I go to concerts.
A lot of people do it, but it's nothing special. You act like it's something special, like he's a minority. You half do it, half don't. Like that's not something special.
Well, to me, it's special because again, I know what kind of work goes into that shit. You really got to rehearse that. And to piggyback on that, this is exactly why. Hold on, this was exactly why. And when the versus battle was popping. The reason why Jadakiss and the whole Locks was able to destroy Dipset, which was one of the biggest verses that a lot of people tuned in and watched, is because they knew their words.
You know your song.
Right, but here's the point that I'm making. The whole Dipset, with the music they put out, they had the record playing because they couldn't even remember their verses. So what I'm saying is like, it is a big deal because that means you working on your craft. And that actually, you're rehearsing. Every artist don't do that,
you
bro.
You do shows a lot. That's all.
But it also show your level to your craft. How you wrote the record and don't know it and you can't perform it live. Yeah, it sounds simple, but it ain't.
Because a lot of people, and I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but most people do it because they don't have the wind to do it. So they're not in shape to do it, or they don't have a backup guy that. Because most of them pause, just like Kendrick paused to let the other crowds hear. That's usually the hype man's other. And if you don't have a hype man, that's why you had to backtrack flowing. Because if you don't got a hype man and you just performing, like most cats do, because you don't want. Because most cats are not big enough on that level to have a hype man and pay him significantly. So like I said, I don't think that's a big deal that you don't have the vocal track playing in the background.
I think it's a big deal because it shows that from a craft standpoint, how much work you're putting into it. Because again, like you said, if you're gonna speak of him not having a hype man or somebody on stage with him, he didn't have nobody up there. He literally, so for him, again, from a talent standpoint, like you said, catching your win, all that, for him to do as many records as he did, and from what I was listening to, he only missed a bar twice. So again, that it shows the work because again, it's not easy. And a lot of your popular artists and big artists, they literally use it. Like when I went to J. Cole concert, and that's my guy. No slight to J. Cole. He had a record playing on a couple of them joints where he had to, sing along with the record because he couldn't remember the verse or where to place, you know what I'm saying, something within a pocket. Again, that's all part of your craft. And again, I know Jay-Z doesn't need the hype man, and he only do instrumentals. He know every bar and he put out a lot of music over the years. So for him
when Kendrick has the hook playing, does that count?
No, because it's still the hook is part of the instrumental, bro. Did you know that? Like if you listen to an instrumental, the hook will be in there, but your verses won't.
It can be in there. It's not in there all the time.
It's an optional thing. Yeah. But again, it's still your level of craft still has to be there. If the hook playing or not, that's fine. Because the hook typically is layered. So how are you gonna do 4 different, you know what I'm saying, flows within the hook if that's what the record requires? Because it's layered. But in saying that, for Kendrick to still go in there and hit that shit, time it, nail it, the performance, that shit was dope, bro.
I don't see a big deal in that.
Yeah, try.
But it's not my song, so I don't remember. But if I wrote something, I have no problem doing it. We in here shooting the shit off the head all the time.
And that's the reality of the point that I'm making. Like you said, if you wrote it, this, that, and the third. A lot of motherfuckers write their own shit, but when they get up there, it's hard. Because the tempo, the timing, you gotta nail it. Because again, it's a different app. You're not in the studio where you can go back and correct or you lay down the verse differently.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. Like I said, I just don't see as
it's difficult.
a big thing to be wild upon and everything.
And did you see all the NBA players up there wilding out?
3, 4?
Oh, stop, man.
No, I'm asking. I don't know. I seen Russell.
At least a dozen. No, the other motherfuckers you might not know. They not as popular. That's
all right. That's what I'm saying.
They not household names. But DeMar DeRozan, LeBron was there as well, but he didn't go on stage. He was definitely. They showed him dancing in the arena, and that was funny because him and Drake pretty tight. So
that's probably why he didn't go up.
Well, I think if you picking sides, you're not even gonna be in the building. Like the game.
Nah.
The game.
He wasn't invited.
But here's the point. We already know when the beef was going on, he was posting little shit like he was siding with Drake. So I don't think he would have been welcome anyway. At the end of the day, this is about unity. And you picked the side already, game.
If it's about unity, what picking sides got to do?
Because he showed his allegiance to Drake. And not.
What does that mean?
This what it mean. If man, you from the same hood, bro, and you going through something from another hood, bro, I'm riding with you regardless.
But you just said it was unity with the gang.
Yeah,
they going through something?
No, it's gonna be unity within our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So that's the unity. That's the unity. Now,
all the three major gangs, they ain't got nothing going on in their joint. They still came together, right? They with no problems,
they had
right?
some shit going on.
So the game should have been able to come with no problem.
But here's why he wasn't invited. Because you chose the wrong side. That's fuck why. Let's just tell the truth. Let's get to it.
It's hypocritical.
No
matter how you do it, it's hypocritical.
He chose the wrong side.
Hypocritical.
But speaking of the NBA players, I want to jump right into the next topic, man. This fucking LeBron James again. This is the reason why I got major love for the brother as a man, but as a professional basketball player, this is my issue with him when it comes to his legacy and his competitiveness. Why you always got to stack the deck, bro? Why you can't let shit play out, stay out of the decision-making process, and just go compete? And I'm saying this because the hiring of JJ Reddick, bro, your podcast partner, not a good look. And it's showing, again, your influence within the organization. I don't think your thumbprint should be there because Jordan's wasn't. Jordan's shit played out. He let it play out. He just went and competed. He wasn't fucking with who to hire, who to bring in free agency. Jordan wasn't doing none of that shit, bro.
Well, he signed off on it.
At the end of the day, he was in loop. But here's again, he didn't speak on it. It wasn't obvious. If it, you know what I'm saying? Like this
definitely wasn't obvious.
Like JJ Reddick, bro, as the coach, no coaching experience at ever. This is a friend doing a favor. And it's the shit when I'm talking about.
You think it was a favor?
Bro, this shit is stupid. Let's keep it a bean. It's stupid, Mar. Where's your resume when it comes to coaching? Where's your resume even being a good teammate? We don't even know.
Well, he was a good teammate.
All right, but
nobody really had nothing bad to say about him.
Okay, but you gonna lead a team now? You in position to lead a team, a whole organization? You're not.
What was Steve Kerr?
What you mean?
Steve Kerr just got the job out of nowhere.
No, but Steve Kerr was doing the yes in Phoenix under Jerry Colangelo, assistant coach also in San Antonio under Pop before he got on as the coach of the Golden State Warriors. Facts.
I don't know about that.
No, well, that's true. Picture like this.
I'm going to have to Google that.
Yeah, I think you the Googler. But end of the day, he had something on his resume. And he was also broadcasting.
Yeah, he could broadcast. So
I'm
broadcast, podcast. What's the difference?
I'm just saying, he still was assistant coach in Phoenix, and he was assistant coach in San Antonio. Then he started doing the sportcast, and then he got the opportunity to coach the Golden State Warriors. So out of fairness, like, again, the point I'm making, JJ Reddick as the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, and you asking him to lead an organization and arguably the greatest player of all time? Won't you say, LeBron, won't you just coach the fucking team? Because you're making all the decisions and get on some Bill Russell shit and let it play out.
As a coach, they just got him as the Warriors.
Okay. Or what do assistant coach? And I know he was on the Olympic staff too with Mike Krzyzewski and Jerry Colangelo when he was heading up the whole USA basketball Olympic team. He was assistant coach for that as well.
Yeah, I don't know. But I agree that LeBron needed to own it though.
Yeah. Because again, this is how you even got in Miami. Hooking up with your friends. You know what I'm saying? They take pay cuts. Y'all come together in Miami, win some championships, and you leave on them. Go back to Cleveland, hook up with Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Win a championship, and you leave them. Now you go to LA, you grab Anthony Davis, bring him with you. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I'm over that shit, bro. You got Westbrook there, then got him out of there. Like, bro, I think professionally, bro, you should just compete, bro. Because you showing like you want the opportunity to compete for championships, but you don't want to put the fucking work in, or you don't want it to be too difficult. You know what I'm saying? Unless you can stack the deck to how you want it before you go compete. I ain't with none of that shit, bro. I think it's just showing like your nature on the inside as far as your.
Yeah,
like,
they never said he was an assistant coach.
Not even for the Olympic Jones?
I mean, he was a head coach when he didn't start being an assistant coach for the Olympics till 2017.
Okay, well, I mean, it's something more than JJ. I'll say that.
No, but that's after he was head coach already for Warriors.
Oh, well, shit, he was a champion too. So, all right, well, forget all that. But at the end of the day, we both agree that JJ don't deserve this opportunity. Especially after the way you did Delvin Ham. I mean, come on, that's fucked up. Shiesty, bro.
But how are these other coaches there? This is like LeBron's third coach in the Lakers.
I believe so, yeah.
So
already,
he don't have a hand in who's the coach?
It looks like he does. It's too much influence. Just play the game.
So did the other guys deserve it?
Darvin Ham?
And the other boy before him.
No, I don't know. They don't deserve it because he shouldn't be part of them decisions. You got management and players for a reason. You're not management, bro. Now, we can have a conversation on what you would like for us to do as far as building a team, but your influence clearly is too much. It's damn near a thumbprint.
I do think his influence on the team is too much.
Too much. Go compete.
But I do think that a marquee player, especially somebody that's a top 5 player, should have input on who's the next coach.
I'm cool.
Now, I don't think they should have as much power as LeBron, because we know LeBron and got all the coaches fired.
That's not cool to me, bro.
And especially even when they had good seasons.
Yeah.
Like these guys getting fired. But you got to look at Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis got that boy fired.
Well, I picture like this.
Like players do that even when they winning. Like I don't understand it, but it goes to back what we was talking about last week. The players have too much power.
Well, I'm not going to say that because they the ones competing. I just feel like you got management and, again, players for a reason. So in saying that, there's other players who have done it. I'm not going to argue that. But at the end of the day, like, this is everywhere he goes. He got to stack the deck for himself.
Yeah, and I think that's why he left Miami, because he couldn't get rid of their coach. Pat was too strong.
Pat Riley's not going for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's a godfather. He's not going. You're not going to have that much influence. That's what I mean by management and players. There was a line with Pat Riley. He's not tolerating that, bro. And it's not the atmosphere, the culture that he wants to create in Miami. That shit is structured. I mean, honestly, when last time you seen Miami Heat completely fall off where they were just an awful team?
Pat Riley keeps them in it.
Exactly. That's what I mean by leadership. And that's why, like, LeBron, you're showing your leadership to me because you be putting this shit all together, and then when it don't work, you want to hold people accountable. Nick, hold yourself accountable because you're the one behind all this shit, and that's what I don't like. And now what's going to be interesting to see, now let's see how this shit work out for son Bronny and where he get drafted and the influence in that. Because, again, this is what I don't like about LeBron James. That shit's soft to me, bro. Just go compete.
Well, nepotism is part of working society.
Man, fuck all that, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, if you can, you going to help your homie get in. If you can.
Yeah, by putting a word in. I'm not going in there like this, because it's like LeBron going in there. If you don't hire him, I quit. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, well, he's the best. He's one of these top 5 in his.
Not cool.
His top 5 in his workplace.
Yeah, but
he got that leverage to do that. Now, if Warren Buffett said, if y'all don't do something, I'm out of here, then most likely the bank is going to do it.
You motherfucking right.
Yeah, he got the pull. So
not cool
it's give and takes. But like I said, all this comes from players having too much power.
I can't.
The players can't have power over the business.
I can't say that.
The workers can't have power over the business.
No, I'm gonna look at it a little bit different. You're the leader of the team, one of the faces of the league, and you got legacy. Yeah, you should be part of the loop in discussion on organization transition and how it's gonna play out and what would you like to see happen. I get all of that. You earned that right to me. But to be literally like making decisions, and he should have, for his own self and his current teammates, he should have went to management and said, listen, I don't even want to bring JJ Redick in. Why? Because I do a podcast with him. It's not a good look.
Well, I honestly think they was going to hire the college boy.
You talking from UConn? I thought, but
I think he jerked him as just to position himself better in college.
No, I'm telling you what I think he did. He realized this gonna be a short run, and it ain't gonna be because of the fans. It ain't gonna be because of the organization. It's gonna be because of one motherfucker.
Yeah,
LeBron James.
He knew that, but you know that everybody knows that when you talk about working with LeBron.
Yeah.
So I think he took the meetings just to boost his
leverage on the back end.
The college.
Cool. I ain't mad.
I don't think he was really ever going to come.
And I don't
not with LeBron there.
Yeah, and I don't think that will work. You know, you fucking.
He'll come around when LeBron leave. He'll come.
Possibly, but again, because he don't want to deal with the influence of that. He's trying to coach a team. It can't be two coaches trying to coach a team, and that's the problem. And that's where I think, again, that shit's not cool to me. If I'm on that team, the Laker team, I'm having a conversation with LeBron. Yo, stay out of that shit.
So should LeBron retire? Or you think he's still... Because your ego just grew with everything.
I agree.
So you got the talent and you're going to have the ego.
Now it's arrogance. I can do what the fuck I want. I'm LeBron James. No, not
How long you think LeBron got left?
I think, honestly, this may be the last year before he get a major injury, because he's been very lucky. That's been a durable man. Pause. Very durable. No major injuries. And he played 20 years. Bravo. Magnificent. Incredible. So, but with Bronny getting his opportunity, his son, I think this will be his last year. And honestly...
What's the youngest? What grade is the youngest in?
Bryce is, I think, in 11th grade.
So you don't think he'll play till both them in the league?
No, and then again, like, you doing too much because you playing the game for the wrong reasons. That's when
he can play the game. He can just play the game. He's just great at playing the game. Okay. I'm not a big Bron fan, but I give him his respect. He's still playing at a high level.
Yeah, but why are you playing the game? To win. Because every time you don't win now, your legacy takes a hit. Now you playing just to be playing. Don't nobody want to watch you take that nosedive, because it's inevitable. You can't continue at that level. And mind you, he's a great athlete. He invests in his body heavily. But, I mean, you're approaching 40. And the wear and tear, you run up and down the court. Phenomenal shape he's in, but at some point, Father Time going to take over. You know what I'm saying? But let's not have that injury attached to that. So I just think your motivation is what? Because it ain't being the best ever. I mean, because you already accomplished argument as like being one of the best ever. You did that. You got championships. So you playing. What's your motivation? I'm hoping it ain't just for your sons. Because now you playing the game.
It should be for that.
But now you playing for the wrong reasons, Mar.
That's like Supreme Court justice ain't retiring unless a Republican gets in the thing. Like that's just how the game is played.
I don't know how you got that out of that. But
no, I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving you a whole flip of just how it is. You gonna do what you got to do until why it's in your favor.
Okay, but I
ain't mad if I could do it and be in the league with my son and be on the same team, I would do it.
Well, I don't know. I'm not in that situation, but at the same time too, I just feel like, you know, my motivation should be always, when I'm competing, is to win. You know, so I don't know. It's his decision, his legacy. You know what I'm saying? But since you got the Boston Celtics colors on today,
I ain't even
looking like a leprechaun. How you not, bro? Like, what the?
Because I don't have Boston Celtics on my mind on my daily.
You look like Jason Tatum uncle right now. I mean, goddamn, bro. Right? What the fuck, bro?
Yo, man. I swear to God, this is probably the least watched finals I've watched in a long time.
Can't argue with that, bro.
Like it literally had no interest for me.
It was
you
no
know what I mean?
buzz.
Like from that first game, I was like, oh, it's over. Like after watching the first game, I was like, what's the purpose?
And with Kyrie not performing up to the level that we expect, the buzz never generated.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the next day, who won last night? It wasn't like,
I gotta wake up and see. Like I would turn it on, look at it for a few, and just turn it off. Like it did not interest me at all.
I agree.
It was like the WNBA was playing.
Oh, come see. You always gotta get a shot in on the WNBA, bro. Come on, man.
I'm just saying that's how it felt.
Bro, we just celebrated Juneteenth. Come on, lighten up, man.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Come on, man. Help out the women, bro.
I do help them out. I told you we had a whole podcast on what they need to do. You know what I mean? And if they don't do it, then it's over. But you know what I mean? But
there's something else historical that happened too.
Tell me.
Because we missed Thursday's recording. Mr. Tank motherfucking Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't know how many people watching this is boxing fans, but we have a new face of boxing. And we haven't had one since Floyd Mayweather. This young man is exciting. He's explosive. I love the personality too, because it's very nonchalant and he's honest when he's doing his press conference. He tell you exactly how he feel, and I love that. But the excitement, man, and he's fun to watch, man. He's fun to watch.
So here's my thing. I've been saying this in the barbershop for some time. I believe that boxing should combine certain weights. I think the fact that heavyweights can go from one size to unlimited is why I think the bull just lost the heavyweight.
You talking about Fury?
Fury and no Wilder.
Oh, Wilder.
Why he keeps getting knocked out is because he's cut up, but those guys are just bigger than him and everything. And I think some of the weight classes should be joined to make the sport better. I think Gervonta fights at what, 147?
No, 135.
135?
Yeah.
So what's the top of that class?
As far as what do you mean?
It's 135 to what?
Oh, that's it. That's the limit right there, 135.
So what is it? So what's the weight class? Then what's
lightweight.
I know. I mean, 135 to 125. What?
No, it's strictly just 135. Apparently,
all right.
It's lightweight. Considered lightweight 135. That's how I go in boxing.
Okay. So what's the next up?
After that is junior welterweight at 140.
Yeah,
which is a 5-pound difference.
Right, and I think 135, 140 should be in the same weight class.
Yeah, I mean, but if you needed to make that fight, you can.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you have like everybody's saying that Gervonta has to go up now. But if you make it from 135 to 145, those 10-pound difference, you'll have more fights, you'll have better fights, and you have more competition. I think the fact that they had these still split at these different type weight levels, it just makes it hard to see the fight that you want to see or see a fight that you would want to see. And that can happen because they'll be like, oh, well, I'm this weight class, he's that weight class. And when I'm looking at 10-pound different, I'm like, I believe you can fight at a 10-pound different. I don't think it's that major if you're really skilled at that. You just have to pick and choose. And I think if boxing wants to get back on that platform, I think they have to do something like that. I think they have to do that, and I think they have to do the title, the belts, and the WBC and all that. I think they have to start making the fights happen. You can't lag around and have these fights lagging around for 5-10 years of them negotiating and everything. If you hit just like the Pacquiao Mayweather, that was too late, too little, too late by the time that happened. And you had all that time to make it happen. And we talking about money and splitting purses and all that stuff. If your last fight and my last fight is bringing in the same amount, then we should be splitting the money. It shouldn't be a 60-40 or 60-40. If I'm bringing in $30 million and you bringing in $35 million, our fight should be 50-50. All this negotiations between the camps, that's what hurt boxing to me. And it was the fights that not happening and happening too late. Because if you look at when boxing was in its prime, nobody ran from nobody. The fight was the fight. You know what I mean? Nobody was holding out. Nobody was ducking. You had to fight the best. When you say you was the best and I say I'm the best, then we had to duke it out. And I think that's where boxing lost its luster, is these guys holding out. And I love the fact that they can control their destiny. I get it, like the Mayweather controlling your destiny. But at sometimes you got to make, at some point, these WBC and whatever they call them, they got to start making the fights happen. Like, it ain't just, if you want to hold this belt and you want to be considered champ, then you got to fight. Yeah, you can have a fight where you can get your money at one time, but that next fight got to be somebody we want to see you fight. Like, you can't be fighting these bums all the time and everything. And y'all get to hyping it up and thinking we going to see something good and everything. Like, I like the boy that Tank was fighting. Like, he was, to me, he was doing well. He just got outmatched in the end. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he started getting away from his thing. But I would watch it again.
Well, I would say this, and first of all, one thing I do disagree on: boxing platform is huge.
No, for certain boxers.
Well, I follow boxing, and I'm gonna say this. Let me say this, because it ain't just about the belt in boxing. The issue in boxing is, if it is one, it would be the promoters. There's a lot of money involved, so they're the ones actually dictating. You know what I'm saying? Who matches up and when they're going to fight, because it's about investors and them fighters. But in saying that, the popularity of the sport is there. We just want more as fans. I know I do, because if you look at it, it ain't about the belts no more, my guy. Mayweather showed you that. So if you an upcoming fighter like Tank, them belts don't mean a goddamn thing. It's about prize fighting now. For example, the way boxing is currently working and structured, Tank only got one belt, and it's not even important. What's important is he's the biggest draw in boxing, because what's different now to yesterday is pay-per-view. So when you talk about it should be a 60-40 split.
Well, pay-per-view was Tyson.
You started in that era, but let me make the point. When you start talking about the purse and the splits when it comes to the prize, because it ain't about them belts. The prize is the money. That's why I call it prize when saying that. You have to become popular for the consumers to go out and want to watch you fight them.
Correct.
So in saying that, I'm going to take Tank Davis right now, who's the biggest draw in boxing.
I don't know about that, but go ahead.
Well, you can argue that. Only one that actually can compete with him in pay-per-views, and you can look this up, will be Canelo. Ain't nobody fucking with Tank. Tank in the last 3 years, Tank has had the biggest fights damn near. Mm-hmm. He's that guy. So in saying that, like, I follow boxing, Mark. So in saying that, if Tank is doing stupid pay-per-view numbers and you Frank Martin should be lucky he had this opportunity to fight Tank, because number one, he would never get a big paycheck like this again, because he's fighting the pay-per-view, because Frank Martin wouldn't be on pay-per-view unless he's fighting Tank. You understand what I'm saying? Because his popularity is not there. He's not going to generate the dollars. So when you talking about the splitting the purse, no, you can't split the purse, because you're the one selling the pay-per-view.
But I'm talking about, if, let's just say, you look at the Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, how they was both at the top of their game. That should have been no-brainer 50-50 split. So I'm talking about of that type stuff. So Pacquiao, Mayweather, when they was both at the top of their print, it should have been a 50-50 split. I'm not talking about guys like Davis who are up and coming and still got a shot. Yeah, I get that. You don't really have problems making those fights. You have problems making the big name boxer fights is what I'm talking about.
That's where, picture like this. Let me give you an example. You ever heard of Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah.
Very popular at 135.
Yeah.
Begging to fight Tank. Tank got his own promotion. The reason why that fight can't happen, it ain't because of Tank. Tank said, I'm going to fight him. But he signed the top rank, which is Bob Arum. So he got to buy himself out his contract with Bob Arum, top rank boxing, because that's who he signed to. This is why I'm saying Tank is the next Mayweather, because he has his own promotional team. Shakur is under an umbrella. So he gotta get rid of that before he can sit there and say, all right, Tank, this is what I want.
Yeah, but this is where I say, in order to get these boxing license, they have to get licensed to box. You just can't put on the joint. You have to get it. In order to get to the commission to do it, you gotta go through something. So if you want to get licensed to box in this state, you know, every boxing match got to get sanctioned.
Yeah.
So in order to get sanctioned, they should put you have to fight this person. So I don't care if it's the promoter or it's just the boxer. Those sanctions from the WBC and all that, if you want to sanction bout, you have to fight somebody.
Okay, well, again, it's a lot involved because, again, the boxer ain't got no money. It's the people investing in him. That's the promotion. So it'll never work that way unless that boxer, like a Floyd Mayweather, who's his own entity, he can control all that. These boxers can't.
Yeah, if they get sanctioned, that's what I'm saying. If it's sanctioned by the WCC, where like it was back in the day, you had to defend your title against the number one contender.
Then you know what you would have to ask for them to do, the WBC, the IBF, the WBA, the WBO. You know you have to get them to do at that point now?
Have to enforce it.
No. You have to be the one investing in that boxer. You can't do that. Because now not only is it conflict of interest, but financially, look how many boxers it is. They would have to get an allowance to be able to function, still maintain their lifestyle, and train. How do you do that? Because it's not a company, it's a sanctioning body. They don't have the money to sit there and say, if we're gonna lay down these rules that you fight the people that we want you to fight because we're sanctioning it, then you have to be able to take care of that fighter until he get to that point. And that's what the promoters do, bro. They're financing everything. They're paying the sparring partners. They're booking the gym. Like it's a lot.
I get that.
And they're not gonna do that because they don't have the money.
They can do that.
They don't have the money. Where the money coming from?
They can say this boxer, they've done it before.
When? That never been an era.
When you used to have to fight the number one contender.
It's still promotion behind it that's taking care of that fighter, literally paying them.
No, I understand that, but they can still say, if you want to be sanctioned by us, you still have to follow the rules. I don't care how much money you got, you still got to follow the rules.
There was no way they would be able to enforce that without a financial backing. Bro, you got to explain to me how would that work.
I'm telling you how it worked before promoters. It's the same thing.
Okay, so how do you take care of this fighter? Because the WBC, wait a minute.
Still have a promoter. The promoter just has to follow the rules. I don't understand how you done it. Whether it's you or the promoter has to follow rules. They have to get sanctioned. Okay, if you're this guy, you have to fight the number one contender. I don't care. You can still be the promoter, but this is how it is.
Well, here's the thing. In what you just said, it is like that. For example, if you got the belt, you have a mandatory number one contender who's next up for a title fight. Correct? That's normal setting, how it go. But listen.
No, but you don't have to abide by it. That's my point.
You know why you don't?
Because they don't enforce it. That's why I said all they gotta do is enforce it.
No.
You can have when you say you can fight somebody that's not the number one contender, but now the next person you gotta fight is the contender. That's how boxing was in its glory. And all they have to do is enforce it. Now, whether the promoters are paying off the
sanctioning bodies,
yeah,
that's what they would do.
That's another thing.
Let's see, but here's the thing. Here's why it wasn't more.
That's why UFC has overtaken boxing.
That ain't true.
UFC has taken over boxing.
No, it hasn't. Maybe.
It has.
Okay. Well, you would have to show that because I know it hasn't. Because again, even if you take what's going on in boxing as a whole, where a lot of fights are overseas, in Turkey, Saudi Arabia, those are investors, bro. So when you talking about selling bodies and pay-per-view, UFC would never be able to do boxing pay-per-view numbers.
What are you talking about?
Wait a minute, let me finish the point. Unless you got a Conor McGregor, because who in the UFC right now is bigger than Tank Davis or Canelo Alvarez? Give me two that can sell as many pay-per-views as either one of them individually. There's none.
All right, well, you're talking about right now. It might not be none right now, but it's been, you go to Conor McGregor, you go to the chick that's doing movies now. You can go to the black boy, bald head, like all them guys. John Jones, like all them was big names. Like, but okay, they don't have no, boxing didn't have nobody. Each sport goes through periods where you don't have a face until you find a face. Mm-hmm. So just because UFC don't have that big face right now doesn't mean they're not a bigger entity. They're a bigger entity than boxing as a whole.
I disagree. Pay-per-view numbers would show that. And even when Floyd Mayweather had his run, pay-per-view, UFC wasn't fucking with them numbers. Floyd getting $300 million a fight because of pay-per-view numbers, which is another bag on what he actually getting to fight. He getting two bags. Pacquiao got $275 million for the Mayweather fight. Insane. From pay-per-view
because
numbers.
that was my point. It was the biggest. That was the biggest joint. Ain't nobody had that since. They were the biggest names and faces in boxing. So I get that. They're going.
But UFC never had nobody at that level. That's why they would never see them type numbers.
No, they are at that number.
You got to do research on that. They're not bigger than boxing. Maybe they will be one day, but no, it's not going to happen. That ain't going to happen with Tank. Tank only 29. So he's going to have a 10-year run. His pay-per-view numbers going to be crazy unless he loses. But back to the boxing and how that worked, bro. Them sanctioning bodies would have to be financing all of them boxers, and they can't afford to do that. You would literally have to be cutting them a check every month to train. If they got a family,
the promoters are still there.
But now here's why that won't work. Because now, if the promoter is paying for that, then the promoter's going to have more influence.
To what?
They're the one financing
the
everything.
The promoter's role does not change in sanctioning bodies. It doesn't change. When you sanction them to do that, the promoter's role, you still make it. You just gotta absolute make it. Like, you just gotta make it. Like, the promoter's role wouldn't change if the governing bodies sanctioned and unsanctioned and made these things. The promoter's role doesn't change.
Well, the promoter role
still get to promote the fight.
Especially if they financing it. It ain't just about promoting the fight. They're financially backing everything. So this is why I'm telling you, it wouldn't work because that promoter has the right to have the biggest influence because he's the one financially making the commitment, not the sanctioning bodies. That's why it's prize fighting. Fuck them belts.
Then take the belts out of it then.
Well, I mean, that's if that person have it. Picture like this. Perfect example. If Tank didn't have a belt, the reason you will be fighting him, because everybody going to want to see him either win and lose, meaning he can sell them pay-per-views. But hold on. So fuck a belt. End of the day, he's the biggest name in boxing, which now if I beat him, that boosts my purse for my next fight. Like, if Frank Martin would have won that night, Frank Martin would have been a household name at that point. So the next time he has a fight, his pay-per-view numbers will justify his popularity for beating Tank.
No.
That's how it works. What you
That's
mean?
not how
this ain't
it
my
works.
rules.
It's not how it worked. Just like when the bull beat Tyson, he still didn't get paid more than Tyson on his next fight.
You talking about Buster Douglas?
Yeah.
Perfect example. I'm glad you said that. Now listen to this. After he beat Mike Tyson, what happened to Buster Douglas? When he fought Vander Holyfield,
he lost.
Next, not only did he lose, but how much did he get paid?
He didn't get paid what Tyson got paid the previous fight.
He's not the draw.
He what? You just told me you literally just sat here 2 minutes ago and said if Davis would have what's the boy they just,
Frank Martin.
If Frank Martin did, his numbers would have been the draw. You just said that.
Right.
You just tell me that because Tyson lost that Buster Douglas wasn't a draw. Vander Holyfield was.
No, listen to what I'm saying. Let me be clear. Because of Mike Tyson's popularity as being the most dominant guy in boxing, he was the draw clearly in Tokyo, I believe it was, or Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So Buster had an unbelievable night, absolute blessing. He knocked Mike Tyson out. So when saying that, and his purse probably for fighting Tyson that night, let's just say for the sake of the argument, it was $2 million and Mike got $30 million. Okay, now, when he knocked Tyson out, he became a draw. So when he fought Holyfield, that split was different. So this is the point I'm trying to make about
he was the champ.
Wait a minute. It ain't. Can I finish? Not only he's the champ, but he's a draw now because of what he just did. So when saying that helps your popularity. So when you go to the table and say, Holyfield, you want to fight me? It ain't about a belt. It's about the money. So if you want to fight me, this is what I'm going to need. It's going to be $100 million purse. That's from all the investors, the promoters that invested in this fight. I want 70 fucking million. Vander, you get 30. I just came off knocking off the most dominant man in boxing history. So my bag is going to be bigger than yours because I'm the draw now.
Right, but his bag wasn't still bigger than Tyson's. I understand that.
Because Tyson's bag grew every fight.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. Like, so sanctioning doesn't change that.
It's your popularity
determines the purse. I understand that. So, but the sanctions of you having to fight whoever, that doesn't change. The promotion doesn't change. That's my point. The promotion doesn't change. Promotion only changes when the person becomes popular. You still get more money from the popular then. So if you're fighting the person that you're supposed to fight, and if you're the popular person, the purse is the purse.
No, but here's the problem. That motherfucker you fighting, he can't sell no tickets. So that's why the belt will be irrelevant. That's why the belt will be irrelevant. Picture like this. Tank Davis, 135. I don't know who the number one contender is, but don't nobody want to see him fight the number one contender from the WBA, the IBF, the WBO, the WBC. Don't nobody want to see that. They want to see him next fight Lomachenko, which that fight is signed for November. Why? Because Lomachenko is not only one of the best lightweight former champions of all time, he has the name that can sell them pay-per-view numbers. Because it ain't about no belts.
So here's the top 15 pay-per-view buys.
What site is that?
Pay-per-view buys. Tapology. Great,
It's
credible.
It's
called Tapology. It's a great thing. So the top pay-per-view buys, top 15. Number 1, Mayweather-Pacquiao. Number 2, Mayweather-McGregor. Number 3, De La Hoya Mayweather. Number 4, UFC 2029. Number 5 is Mayweather Canelo. Number 6 is UFC 257. Number 7 is UFC 202. Number 8 is UFC 264. Number 9 is Mayweather Cotto. Number 10 is UFC 246. Number 11 is UFC 196. Number 12 is UFC 100. Number 13 is UFC 251. Number 14 is Triple G versus Canelo. And number 15 is UFC 205.
So UFC ain't there yet.
How? You just tell them they got more. They got more than boxing. They got more top draws than boxing.
Well, let me say this: if that's the list that you're gonna go by,
and if you take out
number
you
one,
take out
what?
Mayweather.
Number 1 was what?
Mayweather Pacquiao.
So when saying that, here's my point. This is why it still ain't bigger than boxing, and it won't be yet. Because again, what boxing does, that person elevates to become more popular. So when saying that, the reason why Mayweather and Pac was number 1, they was 1A and 1B in popularity when it came to boxing. So people wanted to tune in for them pay-per-views.
Yeah, they were top.
So here's my point. The UFC, they have to get more popularity from individuals within the sport to ever reach them numbers. It ain't enough.
No, but that's just that. You're saying boxing as a whole is bigger than UFC. I just gave their 9 out of 15 in pay-per-view buys.
Yeah, but that's in the last 10 years.
That's what I just said. UFC is popular now than boxing.
No, but them numbers don't say it's more popular. Because again, the most popular.
These are the most popular pay-per-view buys.
Sir, I think you're misunderstanding the point. Number 1 is number 1, and that's boxing.
That was almost 15 years ago.
That was not no
Mayweather Pacquiao.
Was not no 15 years ago, bro. Like, stop, man.
10 years ago.
Okay. So when saying
that's 10 years ago.
Okay, so when saying that,
nobody has came close to that.
Okay, now listen to my point. So now, if Tank popularity continue to grow like a Pacquiao or a Mayweather, the UFC won't be able to take boxing. They'll just have more events because they got more fighters. They got more.
No, they have. But you're saying the question was who's more popular right now?
Boxing or UFC? I say boxing.
If you have no current boxing match that's in the top 15 of pay-per-view buys. So how is it more popular?
What you mean? The number 1 is the boxing. I'm lost by that.
That's 10 years ago. I'm talking about right now. In the past 10 years, who's been in there? The closest one is Triple G.
That was last, actually. Triple G and Alvarez.
Triple G. No, Triple G and Canelo is probably the in 2017.
Mar, that can change tomorrow, that argument, bro.
But I'm saying UFC is constantly in the top. 2020,
yeah, they got 2018,
2000. But people are still watching it.
It's more. How many big fights it is in boxing per year?
My point of the matter is, it's more popular. If it was more, it was. Is there a low count of boxers going on? No, it's boxing events going on every week.
What you mean a low count? No, it's the popularity of that individual within.
Right, that's telling me that if UFC is getting the buys of pay-per-view. More people are watching them. There's still pay-per-view boxing, Jordan.
Well, but see, when you say that,
He just fought, and he's not on here, right?
who just fought?
Tank.
Yeah, Tank just
Tank is not even. Let me see if I can even find Tank in this.
The one with Ryan Garcia might be on there that he just had.
Wilder Fury.
A year ago. Oh, which one? They fought 3 times, I think.
Yeah, this is crazy. Canelo, what's that? Bivolo?
Oh, yeah, that was a good
Canelo
one.
Khan. But it's crazy. Like,
well, you know, boxing comes in waves because the popularity of the individual.
Right, so that's why I say
UFC they got when they do a card, the UFC, they got like 7, 8 fucking fights.
Right, because it's more popular.
No, it's just more actual.
It was 7 fights on Tank's joint.
No, it was 9, remember?
Oh, 9, 10?
It was 9.
So what are you saying?
Because again, and here's the biggest draw from the 2, for them 9 fucking fights. The draw was obviously Tank and Martin and Benavidez and the Russian bull. So in saying that, anybody who on that card, they got an opportunity to be on a big stage. So that boosts their opportunity next time. So when they're fighting for something, the value of their purse go up. So when you talk about popularity of a sport, that's gonna come in waves when it's a competition between boxing and UFC, because boxing, you only gonna get 2 fights a year that's big.
Bank got 200,000 people to buy his joint.
You said Tank?
Oh no, he got 1.2 and 1.2 million buys.
Was he? So wait for the last fight.
Yeah,
And I think he had more for the Garcia fight. Now look up the Garcia fight. He had more buys than that. Like, picture like this, like John Jones in the UFC. Clearly, he would be the biggest draw. Pay-per-view buys inside the 60 days. Definitely needs to fight a boxer. Need to fight somebody. It only gets bigger. It only gets bigger, and his popularity gonna continue to grow and his purse grow. That's why Liam Tinkle was up next in November. He's a bigger name. But he's the face of boxing right now.
I don't know. So one thing is saying still around 200,000 buys. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not bigger than
Matter of opinion.
The numbers don't lie.
Oh, no, you just got 2 different numbers. So come on,
But
man.
I got the rankings of it.
All right.
Like, that's them sites telling me it's only been a week, so it's probably the official ring.
People, I don't know what site Mara be on. We gotta start making
popular,
them,
man.
We gotta get them start writing these sites.
I want to end it on this last topic. So I have a township page that I'm on Facebook. And
you mean where you live?
Yeah, they have a whole township. They got one for your township too.
But go ahead.
But so they post different issues, and I want to get your take on it because it was crazy to see how many people were upset at this. What happened was, a gentleman tried to come into a restaurant establishment with his dog, and they denied him. So they were like, well, he got what you call it when you get the dog assigned to you.
Oh, that's for medical reasons.
What's it called?
I don't know the actual term.
Hey, I forgot what it's called. Anyway, there were a lot of people were upset that they denied him to come into the service, to come into the restaurant with an animal. And I'm like, what do you need an animal in the restaurant for?
Well, are you asking me now?
And I'm asking and I'm stating, like, what do you need an animal in the restaurant for? Other people don't want animals in their restaurant. Why do I have to suffer your ways to contradict what's actually normal and cleanliness? Like, you shouldn't have animals in your kitchen when you cook, and I don't know how people do that. And you shouldn't have animals in restaurant where other people are eating. You know what I mean? No matter what. They don't get to take a bath every day. They don't do all that every day. And for people to be so upset about an animal being kept out of a restaurant. Like, I can see if it was Walmart or something where it doesn't really, nobody's eating. It's not about
Everything
hygiene.
is packaged.
Everything is packaged, but you know what I mean? You got pet dander in the air. Like, who wants to be around all that if you're not into animals like that? And they're trying to cancel this business. Don't go here. They not service dogs.
I love it.
They service dog. Don't go here.
Yeah, that's the actual term, is service dog.
Service dog. So, and on top of that, the guy had a temporary joint. Like, it wasn't even in full effect. It had just got a probationary period or something along that line. But either way, they're upset that this ice cream shop / restaurant didn't allow him in, and they're trying to cancel him because today's society wants to force everybody's thing on the societal norm. And it's not normal for me to be eating next to an animal in a restaurant. I don't care if it's a service animal or not. You don't need, unless you're like blind and you can sit down for 20 minutes and eat your dinner and eat a food and not bring your animal in the place. Like, if you can't do that, then I don't think you should be going outside. If you can't go 20 minutes to go eat, you know what I mean, and everything. So I was kind of perturbed. I was trying to perturb about it.
Oh boy!
Because the gentleman actually responded and said that on the post, like, why are y'all upset that animals shouldn't even be in the restaurant too? And I was like, that's totally correct. Like, they should do away with that, animals in restaurants. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be allowed. Just like a gun ain't allowed in when you know how you go to a restaurant, no firearms allowed. Should be the same thing for a service dog that I don't want neither one in there. I don't need a gun to eat, right? Just like you don't need the dog to eat. What do you think, Jay? Do you want to touch on that subject, or do you?
I love it. I love what you talking about, and I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. You're not a pet guy.
I don't mind pets. But I'm not a pet guy to be like, I need to have my pet on everything I need to do. I don't see the logic in that.
Do you own a pet?
I have owned a pet. I don't own a pet now.
Okay. I'm going to say this. Here's my actual answer. I'm not a pet person.
Okay.
I'm just not. I think they have a smell. You know what I'm saying? Not that the dog is dirty, but they have their own natural scent. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't like it. I think I was scarred early because one of my neighbors lived across the street. This motherfucker had a big-ass German Shepherd. Every time this motherfucker came outside, he had dog hair on his clothes. I swear to God. You get in his dad car, it's fucking dog hair in the car. The motherfucker smell like dog. It's just, I just think that kind of like fucked me up early, whereas though I never became a pet person.
Okay.
But I have to say this, because this is an actual thing. And this is just my opinion. We live in a different time when it comes to pets, bro. These people are part of the family. These animals are part of the family, literally.
I know people take them as part of the family. They are pets.
Bro,
that's why they got a different name.
Bro, they walking down the street with clothes on. Motherfucker, dog got shoes and shit.
They got social media pages.
Yeah, bro, this shit is real, bro.
Yeah.
So in saying that from an eating standpoint, just to be specific, I'm not a pet person. But I think I can withstand that within a restaurant setting because it's a temporary thing that I'm going to be there. I'm not going to be there long. As long as that dog is not like literally like near me or next to my table while I'm eating or some shit, I don't give a shit. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna give a shit. But is this something that I'm into? No, I'm just not a pet person.
So should they have a separate section like they used to have with the smoking section? If you got a dog, you gotta go over here.
I think that'd be fair, bro. Because again, everybody not into that, and some people. They went to dinner to sit there, relax, unwind, have a great conversation, this, that, and the third. So to the whole pet thing, you know what I'm saying? I just think that's an individual thing. But I'm not one of them people
and people have allergies and stuff like that.
Too.
Like that brings a lot to a restaurant, and for people to want to cancel that business because of that,
that's wrong, bro.
Because they didn't.
It's too much influence.
Honor. Yeah, that's too much influence.
That's not cool to me. Because again, this is somebody's functioning business, and that sounds like a mom and pop place.
Yeah, it is.
Ice cream shop.
Yeah,
that's a mom and pop place. People, like, seriously, let's just settle the fuck down. It was a moment, but at the end of the day, to try to just get somebody out of business because of your opinion, that's just not cool. It's a family attached to that business, bro.
It's a family attached to his business, and they do family stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and if it's
it's
right,
always packed.
It's the store's right. Whether you agree or not, it's the store. When they say, what's that popular one? More popular than the no firearms, no shoes, no shirt, no service.
No shoes, no shirt, no service.
That's a goddamn bumper sticker. You know what I'm saying? So in saying that though, I just think, bro, you if they cool with it, the business owners, then as consumers, I think we gotta accept that and know, like, this is the kind of environment when we go to dinner that we're gonna be around. Are we okay with that?
Especially in a day and time where doctors are saying they just prescribing anything and everything allowed. Like I know a few people that have got service dogs that don't really need them, that just get them because they just pay their doctor and get them. Same thing.
That's like a marijuana card, nigga.
Yeah, basically it's like that. Like, and you don't even know, fuck, and you can't question it and everything. But yeah, I just thought that was just something that was irking me for the past couple of days that I seen in my neighborhood. And like I said, I don't care about pets. You know what I mean? I'm for more. I don't have one because I'm in the stage where I don't want to go home. And,
it's more work.
It's more work. I don't want to put that work in.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I get older and settle and slow down even more, then maybe I'll get into it. But as of now, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Like I can have them or leave them. I don't have no slight against them. But when you try to bring it into a business where people are eating and
it's hit or miss.
Food is served.
You may lose some people.
Yeah,
you got to be okay with that though.
And it's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like, people bring dogs in here.
And how do you feel about that?
I don't mind it, as long as they act right. Now, the dogs that can't sit down, you gotta take them out.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know
and that's another thing with the service dog. He would have to be tied up outside while that person's sitting there having dinner or eating the ice cream. And I may not be comfortable with that. I mean, it's a couple factors within that. And again, that's that individual, man, and that business establishment.
There's no blanket, way to do it, but I think the cancel culture and just that's people
not cool, bro. Yeah.
Just trying to cancel things over being civilized. They ain't do nothing wrong.
No.
They ain't talk
and they only
to
in there for a minute.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. I mean, people, y'all need to get it together and everything.
I got one for you though.
Go ahead.
This is crazy. And this was just some, I don't know. I was just listening. So I'm at work, right? I'm about to leave. It's like 7 o'clock. Somebody asked me for a fork, a disposable fork. Cool, no problem. I tell them where they at, this, that, and the third. So they decided to tell me why they needed the fork. And they needed the fork because they was pregnant. And the security person, or not because they was pregnant, but the security person had brought them a piece of cake. But she just happens to be pregnant. But then she make the comment that, hey, yeah, he always bring me something to eat. And I know her dude. So I wanted to ask you, are you cool with somebody feeding your lady? Consistently, it sounds like from my comment, oh yeah, he always brings me something to eat. I don't know. You want me to answer first, or you want to answer that one first?
I'll answer first. And I'll say it like this. Women over-exaggerate things.
Okay.
Like, women, like you said, you could compliment a lady and she'll think it's a sexual situation. Like, oh.
Wait, you can
can compliment a lady.
Oh, okay.
And they'll think it's sexual.
Okay.
Like, women so when she say he brings me stuff all the time, it could be once every 2 weeks when he got something. Like, I'm bringing cake. I'm just bringing it in for the thing. Oh, you brought it for me. Did I really?
Well,
so I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, they was like, oh, he brought me cake. Did he really bring you cake, or he brought the cake to the place and you?
Well, this was her. Here's a quote. He always brings.
I know, that's why I said they overvalue what's going on that men do for them sometimes.
Okay.
As they say, Like I said, it could have been brung in for the thing, and she'd be like, he brings me cake. Well, and the guy's like, well, I bring cake for everybody. You just take it all the time, and we cool, we talk. So I would have to see the interaction.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because women think highly of themselves. So they're naive about things.
It's no disrespect.
Now he can be bringing her cake and trying to get some, and he can be.
Yeah, Adam A. But no, listen, I'm just saying she is Caucasian, and they be. And personally, I already do think they a little anyway, so may not see it. You see what I'm saying? Might be naive, like you just said, may not see it, but you still ain't answered the question. Are you okay?
No,
with another man bringing
if it was deliberately done like that,
consistently to that word, he always bring me something to eat. Like, all right, can I answer this shit?
Go ahead.
Hell no, I ain't having that shit, bro.
But you wouldn't know.
Fuck that. I better find out, bro.
Because if she tell you,
I'm gonna whip her ass.
Damn, bro.
I'm whipping her ass. You disrespectful.
If she tells you, is telling you that in her mind, it ain't really nothing. She just saying it to say. That's why I say they process things differently.
But all I need to know is somebody feeding my lady, and I'm blacking the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
Don't bring Jay
don't be feeding mine. I take care of mine. If you're hungry, let me know. That's my job.
All right.
I don't want the job to feed your ass, but I gotta do my job. You know what I'm saying? I ain't having that shit,
Jay,
bro.
You wild for that one.
Hey man, I'm keeping it a bean, bro. Nobody be feeding
Hey, don't bring
chick.
Jay chick no food on a constant daily. You know what I mean? I don't even care if she look like she need it.
It ain't healthy for either one of y'all.
Well, with that, we gonna shut it down, Jay. It's another week down, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, and if you hear this long, definitely hit the red button, subscribe, like, share, and let your peoples know, let your mama know, let your papa know, let your family know, and everything that we out here. We bring content that we talk about in the barbershop right to you. Another week down. We'll be back next week, and I appreciate you for tuning in again. You know what I mean? It's the In Between the Lines podcast. I'm Shamar. That's Jay. Nothing is out of bounds. We'll be right back at you next week.
Hit that like button.
Definitely.
Y'all already know what time it is.